Hello, good morning. Welcome to a live watercolor tutorial. Today we will be painting a realistic fox. If you're watching the replay, hello, and if you're watching live, hi guys. Let me know in the live chat where you're from and if you've ever painted a fox before. I'm really excited for this tutorial. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, let's get started. It looks like Allison is here. Good morning. Annette and Sarah, Angela, Delna, and Sydney is here. Good morning, guys, or afternoon, wherever you're from. So before we get started, a few things I want to go over. You can find the outline of my fox, which looks something like this, in the description of the video. And to transfer my outline, I used graphite transfer paper. And I also went through parts of my outline with some watercolor pencil just to block in a little bit of color. I used my Faber-Castell pencils, a burnt ochre and walnut brown, but you don't have to do that if you don't have watercolor pencils. And there's also a reference photo below too of this fox that we're painting. Hi, Flame. Hi, Diana. Good morning. And let's see. Okay, supplies. So I'm using cold press watercolor paper from Arches, and this is a block. I believe it's size 10 by 14, pretty sure. And then I will be using my silver black velvet brushes for this painting. I have all round brushes except this one here. This is my script brush size 1. I'm not sure if I'll use this one, but we'll see. The other ones are rounds, and I have a size 8, 4, and 2. And then the paints that I plan on using, I will be using my Woodlands paint set here from Art Philosophy. And I have black from Winsor & Newton, and I have Payne's Gray from Daniel Smith. Which I just realized I don't really need these because they're already black in the set, so I might not even use those. But I plan on using like this redwood, maybe a little bit of this daylight to mix into the redwood to make a more like warmer orange, and this bear, graystone, possibly cavern and shadow. All right. Oh, and I plan on using white gouache from Winsor & Newton too. Okay, I think I went through everything. By the way, I do have a 10-day woodland animal challenge. So if you have not checked that out yet, I'll link that below for you, where we paint 5 woodland animals in 10 days together, and that's a lot of fun. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I like to do when I paint animals is to paint their eyes. So I want to mix a black. I guess I don't really have to mix it, but I'm going to be using black, probably the shadow from the Woodlands pan set. And then his eyes have, like, they look orange, so I'll probably use redwood here. And by the way, all of the supplies I am using are linked in the description below too for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to have a little well here, which is black. So I'm going to take this shadow and place it, I guess, right here with some water. I'm going to take a little bit more. And I don't really want to mix a lot of water in this, so I'm not really mixing a lot because I want it to be dark. Okay, so I have my black there. Now I'm cleaning my brush. And now I'm going to take this redwood here and add it right here. Okay, and it's a little vibrant, I feel like, for his eyes. So I might mix a little bit of maybe this cavern in it. And I feel like my colors are mixed up. I think this is the cavern. So I'm going to take some of this cavern and mix that in. and then some more water because I do want to start at least with a light layer with his eyes. Okay. All right. So now let's paint his eyes. So let me know in the live chat box, are you painting this box with me today? I'd love to know. Or are you just hanging out? So I'm going to take this orange here, and actually I'm going to use my tiny brush. I have a size 2 round brush here that I'm going to use instead. And let me get a little closer so that you guys can see better. Okay. There we go. Hopefully I don't bump my phone too much. Okay, so we're going to paint in the colored part of his eyes first. So I'm looking at the reference photo, and I'm going to start over here and just kind of paint around the highlight. There's a highlight in his eyes, and then around the pupil. Now, if you do paint his pupil, that's okay because it's black and we can always paint on top of where you painted with the orange. Okay. Now, there's a lot of paint right in that area, so I'm going to wipe my brush on my paper towel, let it soak up the paint in my brush, and then I'm going to kind of soak up some of this excess color. All right, and then I'm not going to dip my brush again in my paint. Instead, I'm just going to continue painting over here with the paint that is left in my brush because I don't want to paint his iris too dark. All right, and then we are going to do the same thing on the other eye. Angela and Allison says that they are painting, and Diana says that she is just hanging out. Cool. There's a chance I might paint a little quickly during this live stream because I feel like this painting will take me a long time, and I don't really want it to take me hours and hours. So if you are watching the replay, you can always change the playback speed, like slow it down if you want to. There's like a settings option for playback when you scroll at the bottom of the video. You can slow it down if you want to. Okay, so now I'm just looking back and forth at the eyes. I feel like this one I could add a little bit more orange over here. But yeah, okay. So I'm just trying my best to make them even. Now around the orange of his eye is going to be black. So I'm not too worried about making the edge perfect because I can always touch it up when I add black. Okay. So I think that's good. So we'll wait until this is fully dry until we paint, or we'll wait until this is fully dry before we add the black around his eyes and his pupils. Sarah says that she's just watching today. Awesome. Okay, so as we wait for the orange of his eyes to dry, let's go ahead and switch to a little bit larger of a brush size. I'm going to switch to my size 4 here, and I'm going to grab that same orange color. But I do want to make sure it is pretty light, so I will add a lot more water because I like to make sure that I start as light as I can because one of the struggles I have with watercolor is that I tend to paint too dark. So yeah, I'm just kind of adding some more orange or more water. And then I think I will actually add a little bit of this Sand Ridge color here, just a little bit to my orange to tone it down because it is very vibrant and saturated, and I want to make sure that I don't oversaturate my fox because it'll just make him look more realistic. If you don't have this set, you can always add maybe a little bit of gray and a little bit of brown into your orange, and that will help tone it down a little bit. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so next, let's go ahead and start working around his eyes, the orange areas. So I'm going to be applying my paint with my size 4 brush, and then I will be blending my paint with my size 8 brush. If you're new to my tutorials, I like to use 2 brushes when I paint a lot of the time. One to apply my paint and one to blend is just kind of my technique, I guess. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna start at the top of this eye. If you look at the reference, after the black edge around his eye right here, there's some orange. So I'm gonna start painting that in. And I'm trying to paint in the direction of the way his fur grows. All right, so I painted a few brush strokes and now I'm switching to that brush that just has some water in it. And now I'm kind of working those brush strokes a little bit more, softening them up, blending them around. And I am leaving a little bit of white. It's okay to have some white, like right here and here. Okay, and then as we move up in this area, it's a little lighter, so I'm trying to blend a little bit of this up to paint in that lighter area. Delna says, just hanging out to learn. I really enjoy your videos. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad you like them. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on this side now. I like to go back and forth when I do animals. I like to paint one side and then paint the other side and just go back and forth. Just this really helps me stay consistent as I paint. All right, so again, I'm switching to my brush that just has water in it. And I always dip my brush in my water jar and then I dab it on my paper towel to soak up excess water because you don't want too much water in your brush. I'm just kind of blending this up, trying to blend in the direction that his fur grows. Okay, I'm going to continue on with this orange. And then now I'm going to start orange down here under his eye. I'll start in the corner. I know that this area right here is going to be black, so I'll just start here and add in some orange, just like that. And then again, I'm switching to my blending brush and then blending down and in the direction his fur grows. I'm always looking at the reference photo, making sure that I am painting how I should if I'm trying to paint realistic. And this is just the first layer too, so it's not going to be super detailed or anything. We'll add more detail in the second layer. We're just kind of filling things in. And I'm now going to do the same thing on this side. So again, I'm switching to my blending brush. Blending in the direction of his fur. It's okay to have some white of your paper still unpainted. It's actually good to do that. Okay. Andre says, hello from South Africa. Hi, welcome. Okay, now I will paint some orange here, like right here. So if you look at the reference in this area, it's like gray and black. And then over here, it's orange. So I'm going to add some orange here, just dabbing my brush. Now this fur in this area is shorter, so our brush strokes won't be as long. So I'm just going to dab my brush as I blend. And it's okay if you add orange in the areas where it's black, because we can always paint over it with black easily. Then I'm kind of blending this out, dabbing my brush. The area right here is very light, so yeah, we don't want it to be too orange. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So I'm just like kind of dabbing my brush and then switching to my blending brush and then dabbing my brush again, but with my blending brush. And as you can see, I'm also leaving some white on my paper, unpainted, like in some areas. It's good to do that. So how is your fox coming along, guys? If you're painting with me, how's it going? And I think this will be easier to just kind of fill in the orange areas first. I feel like that will be best, and then filling in the black areas. So I guess we'll go ahead and just do it that way. I feel like it will just be the easiest and best way to paint him. So I'm going to move up here in this area. If you look at the reference right here, it's like black or like a dark brown, and then it starts to become orange. So I'm going to go ahead and paint in some brush strokes here, like so, and then switch to my blending brush, my brush with just water, and then I'm kind of blending these brush strokes in the same direction of his fur. So I am looking at the reference and being intentional with how I blend. And also in the reference, there's a lot of light colored fur here. So he's not like super orange. So we have to keep that in mind. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing for here. And then again, switching to my blending brush. Okay, and then I'm taking orange again. And this time I am going to move to this outer edge right here. So if you look at the reference, his ear is very light right here. It's almost white. So let's go ahead and not paint that area. Instead, if you look down towards the base of his ear, it starts to become orange. So I'm just going to add some orange there and then switch again to my brush that just has water and going to blend this. And his fur right here kind of pokes sideways, like it's like vertical, so it's not up or down really. And then as I paint the outer edge of his fur, I'm really trying to make it soft and fluffy. Then I'm blending this down. And again, I'm constantly looking at my reference, trying to have my brush strokes in the direction of his fur. Good morning, Patty. I'm so glad you're here. How are you? All right, so I'm going to do the same exact thing on this side. So again, we're going to add some orange, like right here. And then I am switching to my brush that just has water and blending up. And down, and then a little bit inside. Okay. Then again, taking some orange, and I'm going to move up in his ears. So if you look at his ears on the outer edge up here, it's black, and then it becomes like a little bit of orange, and then it starts to become lighter, almost white. So we're going to paint the orange part, which is like right here, and then up, and then this way. So it's okay if you paint a little bit where there's black, it's fine. And it's okay if you also paint a little bit where there's white, if you're going to be using white gouache for the white, which is what I will be doing. But if you're not, if you're just going to be using that white of your paper for the white, you might want to be careful to preserve those areas. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing over here. And switch to my blending brush. Hi, Ellie Awesome. How are you? All right, so again, I'm taking orange now. And if you look at his ears, there is some orange kind of like on the lower inner part. So I'm gonna start painting that in. And it's okay to paint a little bit extra orange in this area because like in the inner part of his ears, it's black, and we can always touch that up with the black later on. Yeah, when we get to this area, you want to be careful because a lot of this will actually be white, so just keep that in mind. I'm just going to kind of blend this up a little bit into the white area. Then I'm going to do the same thing again, but on this side. And then switch to my blending brush. All right, and then let's go ahead and I'm trying to see where else there's orange on him. It looks so I'm going to add some orange like here and then kind of downwards. Then I'm switching to my brush that just has some water in it and I'm blending this. So who here likes to paint animals? Do you enjoy painting animals? Animals are probably my favorite subject to paint out of like flowers and insects and plants and stuff. I just love painting animals because I feel like you can add so much personality to them. And I don't know. I just have a thing for animals. I love them so much. Hi, Joyce. Good morning. Liz says, I love painting animals. What's your favorite animal to paint, Liz? Let me guess. Horses? um, okay. So a little bit more orange we'll add. And then we'll start adding in the black areas. So he has some orange. Oh, it looks like, wait, some black like right here. And then it starts to become orange. So I'm just going to loosely paint in orange here. I'm not going to make the area right here super detailed or anything. I just kind of want it to feed into the paper and have it be kind of loose. Annette says, love learning to paint fur. I love them so I want to be good at it. Liz says, I'm painting a bobcat kitten face because I recently did a pretty intense box. That is so cute, a bobcat kitten. Oh my goodness. Hannah says, good morning, just got here. I love painting foxes. Me too. I love foxes. Okay, let's see, where else do we want to add orange? Um, it looks like there could be a little bit of orange right here that we can add. So I'm going to add that and then go in with my blending brush. And then maybe here too. Okay, let's go ahead and start adding the darker areas on him. So I'm cleaning my brush, taking a sip of water. Hi Travis, good morning. Okay, so we are going to mix two types of dark colors. One is going to be more of like a brown and the other black. So in this Woodlands pan set, I will take the shadow color, which is basically black. So I'm taking black and I'm going to add it to this well here. Actually, I already have some here. Oh well. And then I'm going to add a little bit of brown to it. So I'm going to take Bear from the Woodlands pan set. And there's glitter in it from a previous painting. That's okay. I don't mind glitter. If there's glitter, I welcome glitter in my art. Okay, and then, actually, we'll just start with this. So black mixed with a little bit of brown. We'll start with this. And I will be using my size 2 round brush here, my really tiny brush right here for around his eyes. Okay, so I'm going to take some of this dark brown and now we're going to paint around his eyes. So I am going to start over here at the top. I'm trying to paint it carefully here. Then I'm going to use my size 8 round brush with just water to blend. So I'm going to blend this out a little bit. And around to soften up this area, and then I'm going to blend this downwards because he's pretty dark right here, like a dark brown. Okay, then I want to soften this up a little bit. I'm going to blend this edge in here. Hannah says, I'll be painting this another day. My studio is all a mess. Moving a large bookcase, books everywhere that needs decluttering. Oh my. You should come to my studio and declutter. Mine's a total mess right now. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this eye. And then switch to the brush that just has water. Blend downwards, blend around. Delna says, I love hummingbirds. I do too. They're one of my most favorite animals. They're so cute. Okay, now we're going to paint underneath his eye where there's black. So we're going to go around. Okay, and then switch to your blending brush. Blend this black a little bit towards the center, then around. I will be doing another layer of this. We're just kind of filling this in. Okay. Yeah, I know that this looks a little rough, but we're like in the ugly stage right now. Okay, let's do the same thing on this one, this eye. And then blend with the blending brush. Okay, we don't want to blend too far down because it's orange right here, so I need to be careful. Okay. And now we're going to paint in his pupil. So I'm just grabbing some more black. Let's see. Madeline says, good morning. Good morning, Madeline. Travis says, hi, Allison. Glad to be here. Fur is a challenge for me, so I really wanted to see this. Yeah, fur is definitely challenging, and I feel like this tutorial will be very helpful to learn how to paint fur. Madeline says, I love to watch tutorials like this. I always learn so much. I'm glad. I'm glad you're learning. Okay, now we're going to paint in the pupil, and there's a highlight. So you want to paint around the highlight. Now this is, you have to be very careful. I'm trying to be very careful here. I'm using like the very tip of my smallest brush. I guess this isn't technically my smallest brush, but it's a small brush. Okay, so now we'll do the other eye. This is probably one of the most stressful parts of painting this fox. I feel like I need to add a little bit more water to my black because it's starting to not be that easy to paint with. I'm concentrating really hard right now, so I'm not talking. Okay. Now I'm looking at both eyes. I'm trying to see how I can make them look the same. This one looks a little bigger, so I think I think I will paint in the top part again, like right here. Okay, that looks a little better. Maybe even like the bottom part again. Okay. Grab me some more black. Yeah, this is probably the hardest part of this painting. Although I say that, and then when we go to the ears, that's probably what I'll say too. The ears are always so hard for me. Yeah, I'm really trying to make my eyes symmetrical. I feel like they're starting to look better. Okay. All right. um, Love and Life says, you do a wonderful job, Allison. Thank you. All right, so we'll just let those eyes like dry and we'll add more to them here soon. In the meantime, let's go ahead and fill in his nose. I feel like once we fill in his nose, it'll just start to come together a little bit more. So I'm still going to be using my size 2 brush, and I'm going to add a little bit more water to this. Okay, and then his nose, the top part is one of the darker areas. So I'm going to paint that in like this, just the top part, and then I'm going to move to my size 8 round brush with just water. And I'm going to blend this down a little bit because he has a little highlight underneath this dark top area. And I'm just going to kind of blend this down. And then I'm going to blend the edge of his nose into his fur a little bit. Travis says, thanks to your recommendations, I've recently gotten my hands on the Pastel Dreams and Woodland sets. Do you sort playlists by these sets? I do not. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't sort my tutorials based on the paints I use. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm so excited for you. I hope that you enjoy those sets. I especially love the Woodlands one, which is what I'm using right now. It's one of my favorites. Okay, now I'm painting underneath his nose, or the bottom part of his nose with this dark black, dark brown slash basically black. And then I'm switching to my blending brush and I'm blending this up like so. And then kind of around his nose like this. I'm looking at the reference too a lot, making sure I am painting his nose right. Okay. And then I'm gonna paint the inner part of his nostrils. And then I'm switching to my brush that just has water, and I'm blending this out and then up. And yeah, this is just the first layer. So it's not going to be perfect or detailed or anything. And then I'm doing the same thing over here. Blending. Really trying to make his nostrils even. I think that looks even. Sometimes it's hard to tell. All right, that's good for now for the first layer. We'll let that dry. Okay. That's okay, Travis. I'm cleaning my brush. And now we are going to, I kind of feel like I want to finish around his eyes a little bit more. So let's go back to his eyes. I feel like once we get his eyes like almost done, it'll just look better and give us more confidence to paint the rest of him. At least for me. Okay, I'm going to take my size. Wait, hold on. I'm thinking. I think I might add some shadow in its eyes first. So we want to take a dark orange to do this. So I'm going to take a redwood here with my size 2 round brush. Add it to this well. And then I am going to mix a little bit of brown into this. And I think I need to add a little bit more of that orange, that redwood color. So as you can see, it's like a dark orange. And I'm going to add this to the outer part of his iris in the inner part. Basically all around his eye, the color part of his eyes. And then I am going to blend with my size 4 round brush. It just has water in it. And blend this into that lighter orange. And I might also blend a little bit around his iris. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing on this one. So all the way around. And then blending. I'm trying not to blend too much into the light orange because I still want to keep that light orange. I'm gonna add a little bit more over here, I think. Then kind of blend the outer part of his iris. Okay. Min Yo says, "Hi Allison, I'm from Malaysia. I've learned a lot from you. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Delna says, it looks great already. Thank you. Okay. I think next I am going to maybe paint some more orange around his eyes and then paint more black around his eyes. So I'm going to take this red wood here, take some of that, add it to this well with some water, and we need to tone that down a little bit. If you don't have this redwood color, you can use orange. You can mix a little bit of red into your orange. And if you want to tone it down, you can always mix a little bit of brown and gray into your orange. I'm going to mix a little bit of the Sand Ridge into mine to tone it down a little bit. Okay, and then I'm still using my size 2 round brush. Now I'm going to start painting in the second layer on his eyes. So I'm going to start over here, and again, we're doing the same thing. We're kind of like painting in the direction of his fur, and I am making little tiny brush strokes, and I'm leaving some of that lighter layer unpainted. Okay, and then I'm switching to my size 4 round brush that just has water. Now I'm going to dab at this to blend, but we don't want to blend too much because we still want there to be texture. We don't want him to look too smooth looking, or else he won't be realistic. And then I'm going to add some more orange, like right here. That kind of goes down. And I'm switching again to my blending brush. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Switch to my blending brush. Again, I'm looking at the reference, trying to go in the same direction of his fur. Then I think I'm going to add a little bit over here. Love and Life says, I just Googled pictures of foxes and their nostrils aren't perfect. Neither are their eyes. Check them out. I think yours looks great. Thank you. Thanks. Okay. Now I'm going to add some of this orange underneath his eyes. I'm going to start in the corner here. And I know like that the corner is going to be dark, so I'm not too worried about making that perfect. So I'm adding a little bit of that, switching to my brush that just has water, my blending brush, and then I'm blending this out. Okay, as you can see, I'm leaving some of that lighter layer unpainted. This really helps the texture of fur when you paint. You don't want to, like you want to have different shades of color. You don't want to just have one shade of color, or else it just won't look like fur. Blend. Okay, I'm gonna add some over here, just like a little brush strokes. Then switch to my blending brush. Blend down. Same thing over here. Okay, then I'm gonna start painting, let's see, a little bit over here more. Blending brush. Blend this up. Okay, and then I'm going to add some dark orange like here in the corners of his eye. Oops, sorry, I just bumped into my phone. Okay, and then I'm going to add some of this orange in some other areas, like right here, and blend. Blend. Okay. I'm going to add some of this up here around his ears. Oops, sorry guys. I have to stand up to see this area well with my camera. Okay. And then I'm gonna add some over here. On his ears and blend up. Here in a minute, we will add some more black, like in his ears and at the top of his head and around his ears and stuff, and that will really help make this all come together. I'm going to add some in the middle of his head in the direction of his fur, and then switch to my blending brush again. Dab at those. I don't want to blend them too much because I still want it to look like brush marks. And then I'm going to add some over here. Blend. blend. Trying to move a little bit more quickly because I don't want this tutorial to be hours and hours. If you are watching the replay, you can change the playback speed to be slower if you need to. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead, since I have this orange in my brush, I'm just gonna add some over here. Blend. Okay, how are you guys doing? Let me know in the chat box. How are you doing? We're about an hour in, and I think it's time to do the artist spotlight. So let's take a minute break and do the artist spotlight, guys. Okay, let me turn my camera around and then hook it up. So if you're new to my channel, every Friday when I go live here with a tutorial, we do an artist spotlight, and to have the chance to be featured on this artist spotlight, all you have to do is use the hashtag Allison Lane Art Tutorial on Instagram when you post your artwork on there. And today I am spotlighting Patty. So let me bring up her Instagram. Here is Patty. And she did my lily tutorial from 2 Fridays ago. Isn't that beautiful? And it looks like she's also doing my bird challenge, my 10-day bird challenge. So yeah, I linked her Instagram below for you guys if you wanted to find her on there and support her. And yeah, she did my mushroom tutorial, my orchid tutorial. Yeah, she does amazing art. So yeah. All right, guys. Let's continue this box, okay? It's really coming together. So, all right. I'm really liking how it's turning out. So let me hook up my camera again. Bear with me. And move it a little closer for you. All right. Oh, you guys are so supportive of each other. Yeah, I think Patty is here, or at least she was here. Okay, so now we're going to paint more of the dark areas that we see on this box, like the black and dark brown. So we're going to be mixing a dark brown. So to do this, I will be taking the shadow color and mix it with some of this bear. If you don't have this paint set, you can just mix brown with a little bit of black. So I'm taking shadow, I'm going to add it here. And then I'm going to take some bear. Mix that in. And I'm just going to start with like this dark brown. And then I'll probably add some black too here soon. And I'll be painting with my size 4 round brush. Hannah says, I have a sticker question. I recently gifted a couple of your stickers to a friend. She asked if they are archival safe. Well, they're waterproof, they're UV resistant, and they're scratch proof. So I guess that would mean that they're archival safe. Yeah, they're pretty heavy duty stickers. And then she says, I've had one on my car for over a year and no fading or wearing. I've also had them on water bottles in the dishwasher and ski helmets. That's awesome, Hannah. I can't believe that they've lasted that long. Wow. Okay, so I'm adding this dark brown up here on the top of his head, like so. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with my size 8 round brush with just some water, and I'm going to blend this way, up in his ears, and then this way. Okay, then I'm gonna blend it a little bit into that orange. And then at the top of his head, I'm trying to make a little furs that stick up. There we go. So yeah, this is just the first layer. I'll add more detail here soon to this area. Travis says, that's really nice, spotlighting other artists. What a fantastic idea. It's the least I can do for all of you guys. Like, you're so supportive of my channel, and I just appreciate you all so much. It's the least I can do. Especially, like, you guys helped me get to 10,000 subscribers. I'm just so grateful for all of you. Okay, as I paint the inner part of his ear, I am trying to also paint in that white fur, okay? This is how we'll be painting the white fur. Now, you want to be extra careful if you are not going to be using white gouache to do some of this. You want to be careful in this area. Okay, now I'm going to switch to my blending brush, my brush with just water. I'm going to blend this up. I'm basically kind of like scrubbing my brush on the outer part, making it soft looking. And then I am also going to kind of paint in where that white fur, and I do plan on using white gouache for some of this white fur. So I'm not too worried about like making it perfect. But like I said, if you don't have white gouache or like a white gel pen or anything, you might want to be extra careful in this area. And I'm looking at the reference this whole time. Well, not the whole time. I'm looking at my painting too, but I'm being sure that I am looking at the reference a lot. Okay, and then I'm going to add some of that dark brown, like right here. Looks like there's a little bit there that I missed. Okay. I know it looks a little rough, but we'll make it look better here soon. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the other ear. Sarah says, Fox is looking amazing. Thank you. Jen, hi Jen. They say, hi, this is the first time I'm watching one of your tutorials, and you are a wonderful instructor and very sweet of you to spotlight other artists. Thank you. Well, welcome to my channel. Grace Arts and Entertainment says, wow, awesome. You are giving life to your painting. Thank you. Okay, let's do the other ear. We're going to do the same thing that we did with the other one. All right, and then I'm going to switch to my brush that just has water, my blending brush, and blend this around. And then this way a little bit into the white and orange. We're getting there, guys. This might be a 2-hour tutorial, but you know what? It is fine. I knew it would probably be a longer tutorial. I'm going to go back over here and kind of add a little bit more. Sometimes I do jump around as I paint. Okay, so that looks okay for now. Let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to mix more of that dark brown. So again, it's basically black mixed with some brown. And I'm only mixing enough water to make this easy to paint with too. So yeah, I do want it to be fairly dark. Angela says, I have to make an Insta account for showing this art. You definitely should. Instagram is great to connect with other artists. Hannah says, the stickers on my water bottles get washed in the dishwasher several times a week. Over a year later, there's no pilling or fading at all. The bottles are looking older though. That's awesome, Hannah. Yeah, guys, if you are thinking about making stickers of your artwork, use Sticker Mule. That's what I use. Their stickers are so nice. Such good quality. I do have a $10 coupon for you for your first order. So just message me on Instagram for it. I've also linked it in my latest vlog here on YouTube. I think I did. Anyways, so yeah, I'm just adding this dark brown along here, and I'm blending it down now with my blending brush. And then in this area that I'm painting right now, he has some white, like there's some gray right here. So I'm just kind of dabbing my brush and I'm leaving some white on my paper. And I'm gonna go back and add a little bit more black. And that's a lot. So I'm gonna grab my blending brush and kind of dab at this down, move it down a little bit and up. Okay, I think that's good for now on that side. And I'm gonna go ahead and move my camera a little closer for you guys so you can see better. Maybe there. Patty says, oh my goodness, I had to go help my husband, and when I came back, I saw my name. Thank you for highlighting my Instagram, Allison. Thank you for the wonderful comments. You're welcome, Patty. Hannah says, I think archival means acid-free so they won't damage photos. I know my friend wants to put them in a photo book. I'm pretty sure they were Sticker Mule ones. I'll check their website. Yeah, Hannah, I don't know about that. Let me know what you find out. So yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing on Blending down with my blending brush, dabbing. Okay. And I think I'm gonna add a little bit more while this is still wet, dab in a little bit more of this black, brown. Blend the edge a little bit more so it's a little smoother. I might add some more over here. I'm gonna jump back to this side. Go in with my blending brush. Okay, that looks okay for now. We'll make it look better here soon. Next, I'm going to paint. Trying to see here. I think I'm gonna paint some black right here because it looks like he has a little bit of black there, and I'm gonna go in with my blending brush and then kind of render this a little bit more. I might have blended a little too much, but it's fine. I'll add more detail here soon. And I'll do the same thing on this side. Blend. And actually, it looks like he might have a little bit of black, like even right here. So I'm gonna add some there and then go in with my blending brush. And blend this up. Blend. Sorry, it was focusing on my hand. I'm so sorry. Okay, and I'm going to now add some black here. So it looks like he has some black like right here. I can't tell if this is like part of like his face or the fur that's behind his face. Now I do plan on adding white gouache in some of the white areas. So yeah, just so you guys know. So if you don't have white gouache or anything, you might want to be extra careful with this area because he does have some white fur right here. Blend. Trying to work quickly because I don't want my paint to dry before I'm done blending. Okay, and then I will go ahead and switch to my size 8 brush here, grab some black, add it here. And I'm gonna paint the black that's below his head, his face, right here. So I'm gonna paint that in. And I'm just gonna use like large brush strokes here, and it's going to be loose. Okay, then I'm going to clean my brush a little bit, doesn't have to be all the way, and then soak up excess water in my brush on my paper towel and then kind of blend this now. Okay. Travis says, is paper white usually preferable to white gouache, or does it depend on the subject? I think it depends on the subject and also like the artist. Some artists don't use white gouache. I honestly, I like to use white gouache a lot instead of preserving the white on my paper. I find it easier and sometimes even better. For instance, like the monarch butterfly or like mushrooms that have white spots on them, and even white fur, like animals that have white in their fur. I prefer to use white gouache. Okay, I'm going to blend this a little bit more right here because it's looking a little rough. Okay. Wow, we're almost there. I know I keep saying that, but we're getting there. We're still kind of in the ugly stage, but I feel like now that we have mostly everything filled in except maybe around this area, it'll really start to come together soon. Hi Chatra. Glad you're here. Okay guys, I will be back in like 20 seconds, okay? I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back, so don't go anywhere. Okay guys, I'm back. All right, so now I'm looking at the reference and I'm trying to see what we should do next. I think let's go ahead and work more around his eyes, because when I paint animals, I like to have their eyes be where I have a lot of the detail. So I will go ahead and take my size 2 round brush, my tiny brush here, and I am going to add some more black. So I'm going to reactivate this, possibly go ahead and grab some more black here. Okay. And then now I'm going to add some more detail. So I'm going to paint again the black under his eyes. Like that. And then like the corner. And then on top. And this time I probably won't do any blending. And then he has some black furs. So I'm using the very tip of my brush, making some black fur right there in the direction that his fur grows. Okay, and then I'm gonna paint the corner here. Actually, I don't really like what I did right there. I'm just going to kind of take some of those off. Okay. Then yeah, I don't know if I like that right there. I'm gonna take some of that off too. Okay. And then I'm going to make some black furs this way. And then I'm going to take my blending brush, my brush that just has water, and kind of dab at those brush marks a little bit to make them soft looking. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And take my blending brush and I'm going to dab at this a little bit. Not too much. When we start adding detail like this, we don't want to do too much blending. Okay, and then taking my blending brush, dabbing at this, I'm trying to make this area symmetrical to this one. So I'm also looking at this area a lot and trying to paint it the same. And then I'm going to go back to the corner of this eye and add some more. Like so. And then blend. Again, I don't want to blend too much. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing right here. Blend. Kind of feel like maybe his eyes should be a little bit more down, like that. We'll see. I'm just really trying to get his eyes right. Okay. Travis says, the more details you add, the more his personality starts to show. That's really something. Thank you, Travis. Liz says, oh my, I forgot to turn off the water to the garden. It's totally flooded. My dog is looking at me like I'm crazy. Oh my goodness, Liz. Okay, I need some water. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Okay, you're officially an hour and a half in. Can we finish this fox in 30 minutes? Maybe. Okay, I think next I will finish or paint more of this area here. So I'm still going to be using my size 2 round brush, and I'm grabbing some black. And I'm going to paint in the bottom part of his chin. Okay, so like this. And then I'm going to take my blending brush, blend this up. And around. Okay, then this area is white, so I'm really going to try and not paint too much over here. And then I'm going to add some more black right here. Switch to my blending brush, dab at this. Same thing over here. Dab. Okay, we'll wait for that to dry before we paint more in that area. Next, I'm just taking some more black. I'm really trying not to add too much water because I want this to be dark. So now I'm going to fill in his nostrils. I'm switching to my blending brush to render this more, and then blend this upwards like this. And then towards the top. Do the same thing on this side. Blend up and around. And then I'm going to paint the bottom of his nose. Blending. Try not to touch the nostrils. Because I don't want them to like blend into this area. They're still wet. Okay. Then I'm going to paint the top. And I'm blending. And I'm kind of blending into the light orange a little bit. So it looks like his nose doesn't just stop subtly, it kind of blends into his face, which is more realistic, more what it looks like. I'm going to take black again, and he has some black like right here, so I'm dabbing my brush like that, and then switching again to my blending brush. And then I'm just kind of, dabbing this. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm really trying to make this area symmetrical to this area. Trying my best. Are you guys finding this Fox tutorial helpful? Is it too hard? I hope it's not too difficult. It's more of a intermediate tutorial. Okay, so this area down here is dry. Okay, it looks like some people are leaving. Chatra says, bye Allison and everyone. Go got got to go see you next week. Okay, yeah, see you later, Chatra. Oh yeah, okay. I thought it's just Chatra leaving. All right, now I'm going to paint in his mouth. There's like a little hint of his mouth right here. So I'm gonna paint that in like so. And then take my blending brush. Blend his mouth and his chin a little bit. And then he has like a little line right here that leads to his nose. And then there's like a shadow under his nose too. And then I'm gonna add some more black right here. Dabbing with my blending brush. Adding some spots. He does have some spots because that's where his whiskers are. Yeah, guys, don't let me forget to paint his whiskers. The one thing I forget with animals, like one of the main things I forget are the whiskers, so don't let me forget, please. All right. This is probably one of the most challenging areas of him, so it looks like we're almost done with it, except for maybe some final details. I do want to paint more on his nose, like right here. So his nose is dark right here, and then there's like a highlight, like right here. So we're going to gently blend into that highlight, and then down. Then again, I'm gonna do another layer on top. I'm pretty proud of that nose. Yeah, pretty proud of this nose right here. Watch, I say that and I'm gonna mess up. I should not say that. Okay, I'm not touching his nose again. I'm pretty happy with it. All right. Now, I think I'm gonna add the final layer of the orange. So we want to mix an orange. So I'm gonna take my size 4 round brush and I'm gonna take the redwood here, right here, and I think I'm gonna mix a little bit of cavern in it, or maybe I'll take more of the cavern and mix a little bit of that redwood in it. The cavern is more of an orange. Actually, you know what? I really like that. I might just use this. Okay, now I'm gonna start over here and work my way this way. I'm looking at the reference and I'm trying to see where I need to add some more orange, and I feel like I should add some here, like so, and then take my size 8 round brush and blend this. I do have to add some black around his ears. I forgot about that. Okay, so yeah, there will be black on the edge here. So just keep that in mind. And I'm going to add some fur. I'm gonna try and do larger brush strokes, like so, right here. And then take my size 8 brush with just water and blend this a little bit, not too much. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Some larger brush strokes here. Some that kind of blend into that black area on the top of his head. Okay, I need to grab more of that color. Okay, now I'm going to work over here. Switch to my blending brush. Blend down. And then vertically, I'm trying to go in the direction of his fur. And then start to blend up a little bit. And then this area right here is white, so we need to be careful. I will touch it up later with gouache. I feel like I kind of added a little, like it's a little too saturated, but it's fine. It's okay. Okay, same thing over here. Blend. I keep hitting my camera, I'm sorry. my camera's charger is like right in the way. I should probably just unplug it. Okay, and then yeah, I think I'm gonna add a little bit over here again. One of the things that makes fur look more realistic is having lots of different colors in the fur. Like try and see like what colors that you see. It's not just one or two or three colors. Like there's a lot. Thank you, Annette. She says, looking so good. Awesome job, Allison. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like we're now in the stage of this painting where we are adding the final touches, or at least I guess the second layer, and that really just helps your painting what's the word? Leave the ugly stage and go into the beautiful stage. Okay, I'm grabbing more of that cavern color, which it looks so different on my swatch card. It's weird. Maybe I had brown accidentally in my paint when I was swatching it. Okay, so I'm gonna add some of this now around his eyes. Kind of into the black too a little bit. Then, of course, I am using my blending brush. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. When you paint fur, if you're painting a light colored, or if the animal has some light colored fur, like highlights, it's important to keep those. Like I still have some white on my paper unpainted. So that's another tip for you. I'm gonna add some furs over here. My blending brush, dab at those, not too much though, because we want to keep them. Okay, then we want to start painting in the middle of his head. So I'm going to start adding some furs this way. And I'm looking at my reference, trying to make sure I'm painting in the right direction. Taking my blending brush. Dabbing at those. You don't want to blend too much. I do want to keep some of that white, like a very light color. Dabbing down. I will add some more colors here too, maybe some browns and grays. Okay, and then I'm gonna add some of this along the outer part of the black on his nose. And then I'm dabbing my brush because the fur right here is very short, so yeah, it's not long, so I'm just kind of dabbing my brush instead of making long brush strokes. And the middle part right here is very light, so we need to keep that in mind. And do the same thing over here. Now, this is a very intense tutorial, guys. Usually I don't have tutorials like this on my channel. But I really feel like you guys will get a lot out of this tutorial. Wow. I'm having a hard time talking now. I think it's just my brain after going live this long and the fact that I'm like really hungry. Okay. All right. And then, yeah, Travis. Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna add this here. Switch to my blending brush. Of course, blend. And then I'm gonna do the same thing over here on this side. It's kind of harder to tell on that side where that area is, but I think it's right here. I hope. Okay. And I'm gonna add some of this orange here. Okay. Going to unplug my phone because I keep hitting the charging cord and it shakes. Hi, Kite Arts. They say hi or yay, I'm early or late. You might be a little late, but it's okay because you can catch the replay. All right, we're 2 hours in. That is insane. We're almost done. Now I'm going to take that same color I've been using, the Cavern from the Woodlands pan set. Okay, let's see. I think I'm gonna add some like here on the outer edge. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my size 8 round brush with just water and just loosely blend this way. And some more over here. And then some on this side. Okay, I think I want to add a little bit of this in the black areas. Some more detail right here. And then on his head up here. Try not to blend too much. And I'll do the same thing on this side. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of this sand ridge into my cavern, which is my orange that I'm using, to kind of tone it down a little bit and add another shade of fur to him in some areas. I can't believe how long this tutorial is, guys. I'm so hungry. It's like noon my time. Patty says your fox is outstanding. Thank you. Sarah says your fox looks amazing. Thank you, Sarah. Patricia says really enjoying watching this intense live video of a fox being created. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Patricia. Yeah, guys, this tutorial is pretty intense. Maybe a little too intense for my channel, but you know what? It's fine. I don't mind doing these types of tutorials once in a while for you guys. Okay, I'm switching to my blending brush. I'm dabbing at those furs that I just painted in to kind of soften them up. And I'm gonna go ahead and add some furs over here. Like so, and then switch to my blending brush. Oh my goodness. I don't know how I'm still painting. Guys, I usually, when I paint, I don't paint 2 hours straight. I take breaks. So yeah, if you're like, wow, I can't believe she's been painting this long, I usually don't. I usually take breaks like every 45 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna add some more of this up over here. Some more variation in his fur. I'm gonna add some of this over here. I should probably stop adding so much detail because I should probably finish him off. I could probably keep going, guys, for a few more hours, but I can't do that with a live tutorial. So there's a chance that I'll probably finish him mostly all the way, but I'll probably add more detail to him later on. Maybe I'll try and go live on Instagram next week and finish him. Maybe. Okay. I'm gonna add some more of this over here. I'm dabbing my brush a little bit into the black. Taking my blending brush, dabbing my blending brush on top. Doing the same thing over here. I feel like I might need a nap after this. Okay. I'm gonna add some furs over here. Jen says, amazing tutorial. And she says, you are very talented. I will keep joining your live tutorials. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Hannah says, go get a snack. We don't mind. I might have to. I probably should have eaten a bigger breakfast. Ugh. Okay. More fur. All right, now I'm going to clean my brush. Okay, guys, I know this is a super long tutorial. I hope you don't mind. I really hope you don't mind. I might go get a snack real quick, like 30 seconds. I'll go grab something, and then we will paint the inner part of his ears more and down here. and the top part of his ears, and then we'll also add some white gouache, and he should be done. Thank you, Leah. Oops. She says he's magnificent. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go grab something real quick. I'll be right back in like 10, well, I shouldn't say 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Okay, guys? I'll be right back. All right, I'm back with my snack. Okay, now we want to grab some black. Okay. Oh, good, Patty. I'm glad you don't mind. I'm chewing. Sorry. Hold on. Travis says, I always miss these, but I'm glad I made it for this one. I'm watching it in California from my phone while listening to calm piano and practicing brush techniques. That sounds nice. Sounds great. And he says, I don't think anyone would blame you for stopping here. Okay, I'm gonna paint in his ears. I'm grabbing my size 8 round brush and with just water in it and blending. I'm really trying to make this area like super soft looking. Okay. I do plan on going in with white gouache for the white areas. Okay. I'm going back in with my blending brush. Just kind of rendering this a little bit more, blending it. All right. That looks good, and then I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Okay, and then again, I'm going in with my blending brush, rendering this some more and blending it. And I'm gonna add some more over here. Thank you, Diana. She says, it looks amazing. Thank you. Okay, I'm grabbing some more black, adding a little bit of water to it. Now I'm going to paint the outside of his ears. If you look at the reference photo, the outside has some black. So I'm going to start over here and go along the edge like that. And then I'm switching to my brush that just has water, my blending brush. Blending this black. I'm trying to create little brush strokes into the orange, but it's not really working out. It's fine. Then I'm blending this black into this area on his ear a little bit. And then I'm gonna grab some more black and dab some into this wet area, like that. And then go back to my blending brush. Okay. I am now going to do the same thing on this ear. And blend. Then I'm going to add a little bit of black on the top of his head and blend. Okay, and then I'm grabbing some, I'm cleaning my size 4 brush that I was using. And then I'm going to grab my size 8 round brush that I was blending with. This time I'm going to paint with it. And I'm grabbing some more black. And we're going to paint in this area here again. So I'm going to start on this side. And this area, I'm not having it be too detailed. It's going to be kind of loose. And I'm cleaning my brush a little bit. And then with some water also in my brush, I'm going to kind of blend this into the orange. But not too much into the orange, just a little bit. We don't want to dull that orange. grab me some more black. Now I'm gonna paint in this area up here. Okay. I feel like we should add a little bit of black right here. Looks like he does have some black there. I'm gonna take my size 4 round brush with just water and blend this. Okay, I don't want to blend too much. I don't want to dull the orange that I've painted. And then he also has some black like up here. And I'm going to add some more black right here. Okay. I'm going to add somewhere around his eye up here and then take my brush, my blending brush, and just kind of blend it a little bit into his iris to create a shadow. I feel like there could be a little bit more shadow in his eyes. Okay. I'm gonna add more detail down here, some spots. Okay, and then okay. Oh my goodness, guys. Those of you who are still who here has been here the whole time, the whole like 2.5 hours, let me know in the live chat. Who here has been here the longest time, or the whole time? Wow, my brain is like spaghetti right now. Okay, it is time to add some white. I'm gonna use white gouache. If you don't have white gouache, I totally recommend getting some. It's so helpful with watercolor painting. So helpful. Sarah has been here the whole time. That's awesome. Angela says, I'm still here. Awesome. Okay, so I'm just taking some white gouache from the tube here with my size 4 round brush. And I'm going to start adding some white fur in his ears. And I know it looks off right now, just bear with me. I'll make this look better here in a second. Annette says, I'm still with you, just watching today. Diana says, here the whole time. Wow. Okay, and then yeah, I'm gonna dab some here. I will be blending this white gouache, so right now I'm just kind of applying it. So I know it looks weird, just, oops, sorry. The thing about white gouache, the awesome thing is that once it dries, that's okay, because you can always reactivate it on your painting and blend. I guess that could be a good thing and a bad thing, but okay, I'm gonna do the same thing over here now. Hannah says, I came in about 15 minutes into the tutorial after you started. Okay. You've been here over 2 hours though, Hannah. That's awesome. Thank you guys for hanging around. Okay. Now, let's work this white gouache. I'm capping my tube, and then I'm dipping that brush I used in some water. And now I'm going to blend this. Move it this way. Okay, and then I'm cleaning my brush. I still have some water, and I'm just gonna kind of, I don't want to blend this too much down. Okay, and then if you look at his ears, he has like little tiny furs. So I'm gonna paint those in. Or at least I'm trying to. I wanna make it look like he has furs. If I don't get that very well, I'll probably try again later on. Okay, I don't want to blend this white too much into the orange. There's a chance I might want to add some more orange here and some more black here later on. I'll probably do that after the tutorial. We'll see. I can't believe how long this tutorial is. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm cleaning my brush. Okay. Travis says he's been here only 2 hours. I missed the first half hour setting up coffee and art stuff. Patty says I was here 30 minutes late at the start, but I'm still here. And it says, how is the best way to practice fur? Honestly, just doing tutorials like this, like always trying to paint animals. Like maybe set a goal for yourself to paint 1 animal a week or something, and continue to paint animals and practice and stuff like that. Okay, now I'm gonna grab some white gouache out of the tube again. And I'm gonna add some here. I have a lot of water in my brush. Okay, I had to soak some of that water up on my paper towel. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Then he has some white that I kind of painted over, so I'm just gonna dab some white in this area. And then he has like a little highlight in the corner of his eye. So I'm gonna dab one there and one here. Maybe even in this corner too. This will really help give him some more life. And then even like on his nose, like a little highlight here and here above his nostrils. Okay, I am cleaning my brush, and then with some water in my brush, I'm going to blend this white fur. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more right here. Last is the whiskers, so I hope I don't forget. Which I am known to do that with tutorials. gonna add a little bit more white gouache right here. This might be my longest tutorial here on YouTube, or it could be. Although I think I've done a few 3-hour tutorials last year, like last year in April or May. I have had a few long ones. I think one was a frog with peonies. That one was really long. And a turtle one. I did a turtle with some butterflies. That one was so long. Okay. I'm going to dab at these spots so that they don't look so, I don't know, I don't really like how they look. All right, I think I'm done except for the whiskers. Let's go ahead and do that. I will be using my size 1 script brush, Silver Black Velvet. Moby says, hello from Quebec. I missed the first 4 minutes. Thank you for the tutorial. I don't mind that it is long. I didn't see the time pass. Oh, good. You're welcome for that tutorial. I'm glad you're liking it. For the whiskers, we want to mix some black here. And if you look at the reference, his whiskers are pretty dark. But I might mix a little bit of gray. So I might use some of this gray here from the Woodlands paint set called Graystone. Mix that in. And we don't want to add too much water or too little water for whiskers. If we add too much water, it'll make the whiskers look thick. If we add too little, they won't be painted on smoothly. So yeah, you can always test your whiskers on a sheet of paper, like a scrap piece of watercolor paper. Oh, Joyce, are you leaving? Have a good weekend. Okay, I feel like before I do this, please forgive me. I want to add some more gouache here. I just feel like that does not look even, or does not look, compared to the other side, does not look symmetrical. Gosh, I'm having a hard time explaining what I'm doing. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna just add this real quick before I add the whiskers. Okay, really try not to go too high. I feel like I am. This is what happens when I paint too long. I'm trying to cap my white gouache. That's what I'm doing right now. Okay. I'm wiping some of this away. At least you guys got to see me fix my mistakes too, right? Okay. That's fine for now. I will paint more of him later. Okay. Now I'm gonna grab this black for the whiskers, and it's with my size 1 script brush, and I'm gonna start off with some whiskers on top of his head here. So he has one or a few like right here. Okay, so I'm rotating my painting so that it's easier for me to paint this. So one kind of like goes or starts like right here and goes up this way. Okay. I don't think I like that very much. I'm gonna take my size 4 round brush. Kind of smooth this out. Gosh, okay. I'm gonna mix more gray into my black. I'm gonna dip my brush in here, but I'm also gonna kind of wipe some on my paper towel so I don't have so much. I hope I didn't just mess up my painting after all this work. Okay. There, that one's better. Okay, how do we fix a mistake? Here's what you do. You take a brush, a clean brush with just water, and you just kind of pick this up. And I really hope I can do that. Here's a Fox tutorial and also how to fix your mistakes. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry and I'll probably try that whisker again when that area is dry. Okay, I'm gonna paint another one very lightly here. The very tip of my brush. Okay, and then I'll do another one like right here. And I'll probably do a longer one like right here. Okay, that's how I wanted my whisker to look. Okay. Okay, and then we want to paint some whiskers over here. So I'm gonna paint one like right here. Now, when you paint whiskers, you don't have to paint every whisker you see. You can just paint a few. In fact, it's probably best to do that, to not paint every single one that you see. And then you can also paint some chin whiskers. Okay, I'm gonna redo this one. Here, wish me luck. I'm gonna start at the top. I guess that's okay. Basically, you want your whiskers as thin as possible. All right. I'm gonna grab some of this orange. Oops, I'm sorry. And then I'm gonna kind of paint this area a little bit to kind of help cover up my mistake. I still don't really like my whisker right there, to be honest. Maybe I'll just rub it off again. I should just stop painting. Okay. Another tip, guys, if you don't care about doing this, like having pen on your watercolor painting, you can always draw first with like a pencil or like, yeah, a pencil or something, and then use a really thin pen for your whiskers. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that. I'll mess with it here after I eat lunch. And I will give you guys a close-up of this. Congrats everyone who has been here the whole time. You're awesome. I hope that you guys got a lot out of this tutorial and that you enjoyed it. Normally my tutorials are not this long, but today this one is almost 3 hours long. I'm pretty happy with my fox. I do plan on working on him more. So he's not like 100% done, but you guys get the gist, right? So yeah, let me know what you think of this tutorial in the comments. If you're watching the replay, and in the chat box if you're watching live. I am so tired right now and hungry. Okay, let me say goodbye to you guys. By the way, thank you so much for your support on my channel, helping us get to 10K subscribers. I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm going to be doing a giveaway soon, possibly next Friday, the soonest, maybe in 2 Fridays. So stay tuned. I will share about it in the private community on my channel and also on Instagram. So just stay tuned. It will be during a live video. I'll be doing the giveaway live here on YouTube. And the Fall Fungi Challenge. It's my September art challenge. I did last year and it was a total success, and I'm doing it again this year, and it starts September 1st, and I'm in the midst of planning it out. So I will give more details about that here soon too. So that's something to look forward to. Okay, reading your comments. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this super long tutorial. It's Friday. Happy Friday. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. I'm so ready for the weekend. Lynn says, been here the whole time, just learning watercolor painting. Travis says, you did a great job. Thank you. Angela says, thank you so much for teaching. I learned a lot. I'm so glad. Sarah says, bye Allison, have a great weekend. You too. Hannah says, I think that's going to look fine after it dries. I just leave it. He is beautiful. Thank you for doing this. You're welcome. Oh, yeah guys, thank you so much. And take care. Don't forget to use the hashtag AllisonLightArtTutorial if you post your fox on Instagram. I would love to see it, and tag me, Allison Light Art, so I can see it. And I hope to see you next Friday. What else did I want to say? Oh, on Tuesday there will be a new video coming out. 2 days in my artist life. It'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Bye. Bye, Patricia, Sarah, Hannah, Travis, Annette, Angela, Lynn, Joyce, Moby, Annette, Patty, Diana, Leah, Jen. I hope I'm not missing anyone that's commented recently. Liz was here. Bye, guys.